You can't be a conscious parent if you are not a conscious person. And that will take us to our next point, where we will talk about how parenting starts before parenthood. So, consciousness and self work. It it's the core of life, and it starts and it never ends. So, parenting starts before parenthood. The influence of our own upbringing, internal beliefs about children, love, discipline, and control, and our values and faith as the foundation of future parenting. Let's talk more about that. Influence of your own upbringing, how um, deeply it reflects in our parenting.
Yeah. Yeah, so so subhanallah, this topic has been studied in psychology, in the pediatric psychology, and the neurobiology, as well as how this the your relationship with your parents even affects the physical structuring of the brain, as well as the the various interconnection of the various parts of the brain as well. So, Dr. Dan Siegel has done a lot of work in the attachment, on the effects of the attachment, of the parents to the kids. So I would urge our audience to, go and listen, to some of the important work he has done. And the thing I want to emphasize is that uh, the this influence starts at a very, very, very young age. As per the studies done, the attachment between the infant and the mother, in the first year of life itself, uh, is affecting the brain development of the kid. And the kid is able to sense the the energy in the mom, if she's anxious, if she's worried, if she's scared. And this is getting transferred to the kid at a very, very young age. um, and and in fact affecting the way the kids, the various parts of the brain are interconnecting and getting formed.
Mhm.
So this starts very, very, very early. So that's one thing to remember. So, the way we had our connections with our moms when we were infants, does have an
Or even
influence.
in the womb, you
Yeah,
know.
true. Even in the womb, yes, exactly. The way that's why it's very common, right? Keep a mom happy when she's pregnant, right?
Yeah.
Because it affects the development. So even physical development is definitely very important there. And the physical development of the brain, has a lot of impact on the various emotional regulation. How you're able to understand yourself, your self worth. So all of it definitely has a role there as well. The and the second point is the how the and as there's this everyone, the kids, have we have this what's called as mirror neurons.
Mm.
Also, they call it like sponge neurons, which just absorb what you see around. And based on that, the kids, as you're starting to growing up and making sense, you start developing the what who you are, what is your identity, what is your worth, all that beliefs again start getting developed, as you are growing, and then again, the parents will have the how they correct your behavior. Do they first of all give you the set of right values, as per Islam, and then and how do they keep you on the right path, how to regulate it, and how to check and balance. So all these three aspects get started as a child from the day you're born.
Wow.
And all these will play an impact of you as how of what kind of parent you're going to be.
Yeah, yep, subhanallah. And your own beliefs about what love is, what disciplining is, control is, that usually comes from our conditioning, how we were raised. So, uh, again, we're going to keep bringing conscious parenting, because if you're not conscious, you're not going to catch yourself making these mistakes. And these are grave mistakes, these are destroying societies. And I'm not talking about being strict. I'm not talking about disciplining your child. That's all you need to do. But how are you going to do that in a balanced way, in more Islamic way? How are you raising a child from a zero age that you don't have to be that monster later in their life? You don't have to worry about um, what kind of person they're becoming when they're 20, when they leave you, when they go out in the world by themselves. You're not scared about how they're going to treat other people. You're not worried about how they're going to drive on the road. And dealing with in many aspects of their life, they're going to be happy, honest, trustworthy people. It all starts from zero. All starts from zero. And that's why you have to be a conscious parent, because if you're not going to be able to catch yourself in making any of those mistakes,
Yeah.
or just blindly following the patterns you were used to, because it's very natural, like you mentioned the mirroring um, psychology. We do most of the time, we do what we see.
True.
It's hard for us to come up with ideas on our own generally, um, unless you're thinking and wanting to do something like that, something different. And that's always, fewer people as compared to the masses. Masses are really not thinking about their actions and behaviors and their impacts. They're usually just following a trend. And so you need to ask yourself, which one are you? Are you a follower or you're a leader? If you're a leader, then you need to think and you need to reflect and you need to devise a plan and you need to work accordingly. And you also need to be open to your own humanness, that yes, I can make mistakes, and what do I do afterwards? When I make a mistake, I accept it and I improve. And
Yeah.
that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is seeing in us the whole time. The progress is not us reaching the perfection. The progress is us keeping the efforts going and keep being better every single day. And that's again, that's hadith, Quran and Sunnah, Sirah, Subhanallah. That's it. That's all you need to know to live your life. And so the Prophet ﷺ said that your tomorrow, today, needs to be better than your yesterday. And if
Absolutely.
we live a life on that principle, everything is going to get better and better and better. Subhanallah. How beautiful.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, at this point, the visual proof for this concept which you just mentioned now is actually neuroplasticity.
Mm,
So the scientists have now found out that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has, made the brain and the nerve system, able to keep improving even till 90 years of age, even beyond.
yes.
So, I mean, if he wanted, he could just make, that you cannot change. But
Mm-hmm.
look at the rahmah which he has
Yeah.
bestowed upon us, that, you keep trying and I'm going to make, your body, the way that I'm going to design, way I've already designed your, brain, is that it will keep improvising and getting better.
Yeah.
So this is a tangible, if anyone wants any tangible proof of the statement, it is right in there. Yeah, just read neuroplasticity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Allah.
Subhanallah, there is an ayah in the Quran that talks about when we were born as a baby, which we don't know what to do in life, and then we grow up to an age of rushd when we learn and grow and we have an idea about life, and this is how we need to do, live life, everything, paying bills, making money, etc. And then we go back to that infant age. And I believe that we give ourselves too much leniency when we assume that at the age of 50 or 60 we have reached that infant age, subhanallah. And that's not true.
No.
At that time, parents, they get the kids married and then they're grandparents and they're like, oh, my life is done now, I
No.
can't change anymore.
No.
You talk to them about, see, mom or dad, you are being tough on such and such level. I think you should calm down a little bit. I think you should think about what you're doing, what you said is hurting people, so please refrain. And of course, you approach your parents very politely and lovingly, but their response generally is that, oh, I'm too old to change now, I can't change.
Yeah, not true.
And you being a doctor, please explain, is it
It's
it's a
not true at
valid
all.
excuse or
No,
not?
no, no, not at all. Not at all. Again, neuroplasticity is something you want to, look up. It is just the brain changes at, every age, even up to even 90 years. They have done the study and they have seen the changes, and
Mhm.
it's been very, rewarding, for the 90-year-old to change things and feel better. So the attachment and the relationships, this is an ongoing thing. It's not just,
Yeah,
what your mom had, when you were young, but this is an ongoing, is ongoing river, like, so if any time in your life you get to change these attachments, then you lead very, very fulfilling relationships, at any point. So whether
yeah,
it's 50 or 60,
yeah.
I mean, it's still possible, and it's not that hard.
Yeah.
Just make your mind up, to put in
Yeah,
effort, a little bit of
subhanAllah.
effort, I
You
would
might have
say.
heard of people memorizing the whole Quran at the age of 60 plus, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
They just set their mind to it and they could do it, you know. It's not easy. Nobody's saying it's going to be easy, but it's a work in progress. And once you live a life like that, um, at any time you realize you are making a mistake, you'll be able to fix it. You'll be able to work
yes,
on it. And that's a life of a believer.
yeah,
Subhanallah. I believe that until Allah has taken away the ability to think and um, reason, you still have a purpose. You still are able to change. You still are able to think, reflect, and improve your behaviors towards others and yourself, inshallah. Right?
yeah.
Right.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.